Hi everyone, it's Angela from Cake Angel, and in today's bake along video I'm going to show you how to make a dairy-free banana bread. So you'll need 2 ripened bananas, 2 eggs, a 1/4 cup of plant-based milk, 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar, 1/3 of a cup of butter, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, and a cup of chocolate chips. And before we start baking, you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so let's get started. First, I'm going to add in my bananas to the stand mixer bowl. Now you'll notice the bananas are quite brown, so the reason I leave them ripen quite a long way is that they actually get sweeter as they get darker. You can do this with less ripe bananas if you prefer, or even riper ones as well. It's entirely up to you. And I'm just going to pop on the paddle attachment to the stand mixer. And we're going to let this stir for a little bit. Not to fully mash them up, but we just want to make sure we leave some lumps of the banana in there, as that'll add a nice texture to the banana bread. Next, I'm going to add in my 1/3 of a cup of plant-based butter. If you're not dairy free, you could just use regular butter for this, but this one is a plant-based one. And we're going to give that a stir as well, just to combine them. You do want to make sure that your butter is at room temperature when you do this as well. Next, we're adding in our 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of milk. I'm using almond milk here, and if you're not dairy free, you can just use regular milk. And then we're adding our 2 eggs as well. And let's give that another stir to combine. So I'm never really going above a 2 here on my mixer. We don't want to over mix the mixture. We just want to have everything nice and combined. And next we're going to add our all-purpose flour. I like to do this in 2 stages so it doesn't all fly out of the machine. Sometimes a little bit will, but that doesn't matter. And let's add the rest of it in and give that a stir as well. And we're just going to pop in the baking soda and the salt as well. You could also add spices to this if you like. You could add a teaspoon of cinnamon, you could add some nutmeg, whatever spices you like in your banana bread. The final thing we're going to do now though is give our attachment a bit of a scrape down. I want to make sure that everything is combined nicely. I'm going to scrape down the bowl as well, just to make sure that we've incorporated everything. And finally, we're going to add in our chocolate chips. So again, this is about a cup of chocolate chips. You can add more or less, whatever your preference is. And these ones are dairy free as well. And you just want to combine these with your spatula. And that's our mix ready. The next thing we're going to do is add them to our loaf pan. So you can check out my video link above for the instructions of how to line a loaf pan, so I'm using an extra long piece of parchment paper for this, just to make it easier to remove the banana bread once it is baked. So I'm just going to use my spatula and add all of that into the pan. This is a 9 by 5 inch loaf pan as well. I'm just going to use my spatula to smooth it out. And then I'm going to give it a couple of taps on the counter just to make sure any air bubbles burst. So that's ready to go in the oven. It's going to bake for about 55 minutes. Okay, so let's see what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. It's nice and golden brown. You can see it's risen really well too. And some of the chocolate chips are still visible at the top, which is great. It means they didn't sink when they were baked. I like to let this cool in the pan for about 10 minutes before I take it out, and it is really nice if you still eat it when it's warm as well. I hope you've enjoyed this bake along. Don't forget to like this video, check out the rest of the videos on my channel, and also subscribe so you get notifications of my new videos. Thanks for watching.